George W. Bush has always claimed that he got into the Guard like anyone else. He applied, qualified, and was admitted. Specifically, Bush claims that during his 1967 Christmas break, he heard that there might be openings in the Houston-based 147th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard. According to W., he talked with the unit's commander, Lieutenant Colonel Walter Buck Stout, who confirmed that there were positions available for pilots. In fact, there was no shortage of pilots. Tom Hale, a historian for the Texas National Guard, was asked in the late 1990s to prepare a special museum display on then-Governor Bush's Guard service. He discovered records establishing that while there were 2 empty slots at the time, there were also 2 other pilots ready to fill those slots. More generally, there were thousands of eager applicants on Guard waiting lists nationwide, and many of the applicants to the 147th were considerably more qualified than Bush. But there are qualifications, and then there are qualifications. The 147th was known locally as the Champagne Unit because of its high society roster. Among its members were scions of great wealth and privilege, a grandson of the oil billionaire H.L. Hunt, the sons of Texas Senator Lloyd Benson and Governor John Connally, and an heir to the Houston-based Sakowitz department store fortune. Clint Murkison, Jr., owner of the Dallas Cowboys, had gotten 7 of his players out of Vietnam service and into the unit. Most of the members didn't even fly, but rather served in support capacities, according to former naval fighter pilot Bill White, who later spent years as a business partner to Jim Bath, a guardsman who served as the 147th spokesman. They created a bunch of slots, White told me, like finance officer, that didn't really exist, just to create a home for these guys, the politicians' kids. For W., being admitted to the 147th was like getting into Yale as a legacy. Years later, Ben Barnes, who was Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives in 1968, would publicly admit that he had helped Bush gain admittance to the Texas Air National Guard. Barnes would tell the story to Dan Rather on 60 Minutes 2 in 2004. What Barnes did not mention was that a childhood friend of Bush's had been working as his secretary at the time he helped Bush. Nor did he note that the woman's boyfriend would go on to become one of the most important figures in Bush's life, the man who would lead the fundraising for all of W's campaigns. Indeed, everyone involved would take care to hide this early web of connections, though it will be detailed in Chapter 20.